This is Hino's Sport, bringing you the heat and that far. We keeping the foot on the what? On the next. We keeping the foot on the what? On the next. Where is Canelo Alvarez in the picture? You got David Benavidez that's running his mouth. And I like David Benavidez. Contrary to what people think, the Spanish community fan base think I don't like those Spanish fighters. Anyone that's been watching Hino's Sport's been following him long enough, I fucks with a few Spanish fighters. David Benavidez is one of them. I respect him because he can box his ass off and he can knock your ass out. Let me say it again. He can box his ass off and he can knock your ass out. Just ask Sean Porter. He's boxing the shit out of his ass in the sparring. But anyways, we've seen what he's done in the ring with a J. Leon Love. We've seen what he's done in the ring. You know what I'm saying? When you're putting opponents in front of him, he's gotten them out of here. That's what David Benavidez does. But he needs to stop the presses and pump the brakes on the nonsense. Go sit down somewhere and what? Higgity fucking hush. We're talking about Jermall Charlo here. That's a whole different variation. Pump the fucking brakes. Stop the damn presses. And see, this is what I was talking about when I said Jermall Charlo is following the lineage of a Roy Jones Jr. and a Bernard Hopkins. The middleweight division is a transitional division in boxing. Let me say it again. The middleweight division is a transitional division in boxing. Anyone who understands the history and the lineage behind the middleweight division, Andre Ward understands this, obviously. That's why he dominated the way he did at 168. Whether it's middleweight or super middleweight, you understand the lineage of that damn division. And what you do is you go out there and you show up and you show out. Canelo Alvarez bounces up from weight class to DuckTales, whoever that lion is in that damn division. At 160, it was formerly Jermall Charlo and Demetrius Andrade. Now it's just Demetrius Andrade. 168, Jermall Charlo moved up because he got sick and tired of the games. How many weight classes that a Jermall Charlo has to move up because Canelo Alvarez wants a DuckTales, a DuckTales, woo. There's a stranger out to find you. There's a stranger out to find you. What to do is grab on you some DuckTales. Woo! How many times does Canelo Alvarez has to freaking DuckTales for Jermall Charlo to have to move up weight class to prove himself? See, one guy is proving himself through heavyweight lifting of moving up from one weight class to the next versus another guy who chooses to not move up. That's sad to me. And Jermall Charlo has carried his weight class from 154 to 160. I know he's going to carry his power to another weight class, to 168, because his power is legit. There's just some fighters, it don't matter how much they move up. As they move up, the stronger they get. Let me say it again. As they move up, the stronger they get. Jermall Charlo is one of those prerequisite type of fighters. This guy has power. And we know that Canelo Alvarez has ducked him for years. Let me say it again. We know that Canelo Alvarez has ducked him for years. And now Jermall Charlo's cleaning up the mess that Canelo Alvarez couldn't clean up. You know what that is? It's called 168. Jermall Charlo's going over there to go and call out the big bad wolf in David Benavidez. Jermall Charlo would fight a Caleb Plant. He has the height separation. He has the height differential to do this. Caleb Plant is tall. David Benavidez is tall. And I get a 5'9" Canelo Alvarez does not want to face these guys because he knows he will get exposed. He knows he will be kept at the end of the jab. This won't be no super duper freaking of what we would call a pay to lose, i.e. Sergey Kovalev. It's not going to happen like that. They're not picking up a fighter after a 9-week fight that he left. Matter of fact, it was 6 weeks and was concussed as fuck. Because at least fighters get 9 weeks. This is why you got to give Caleb Plant credit. Because he called out Canelo Alvarez. He said, I don't want to come off of a hard and arduous fight. Also, he can pick me up while I'm still banged up from the fight. This is what people that do DuckTales do, man. They want to pick wounded animals, cherry pickers. They want to situate rehydration clauses. They want to situate paid to losers or super duper paid to lose, i.e. Sergey Kovalev. This is what they want. Guys that are desperate. BJ Saunders. I thought fighters were as good as their last fight. Let me say it again. I thought fighters were as good as their last fight. Didn't BJ Saunders look like shit his last fight? And why are you trying to fight Triple G Part 3? Even the Mexican community fan base said they didn't want to see Triple G Part 3. Let me say it again. Even the Mexican community fan base said they didn't want to see Triple G Part 3. So which one is it? You classic Dolce and you troglodytes. You Rudy Poo and you Plum Plum Breaks. You ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric. Which one is it? Is Canelo Alvarez going to stay at 160? Is he going to stay at 168? Or is he going to go to 175? I don't know. These days, I don't know what Canelo Alvarez is doing. What I do know is Jermall Charlo has called out David Benavidez. When he called him out the first time, everybody said, oh, well, David Benavidez, he'll knock Jermall Charlo's ass out. Jermall Charlo can't be serious. But then Jermall Charlo moved up to 168 to show you his seriousness, to show you his legitimacy as a guy that backs up what he says, and he calls out David Benavidez again. That's a guy that has cojones. That's a true alpha extraordinaire. Not that pure beta shit or Cinnamon Alvarez fanboy nonsense that Cinnamon Alvarez is showcasing. We got to call a spade here. We got to keep it real. We got to keep it 100. We got to call it a buck. I don't mind David Benavidez saying what he said about Jermall Charlo. I expect that. When you're a fighter, you're supposed to think you're the best. You're supposed to think that you're supposed to knock people out. So hats off to David Benavidez for thinking that. But he better stop the presses. He better pump the brakes on the nonsense. He better go sit down somewhere and what? Higgity fucking hush. Jermall Charlo's a different animal. He's cut from a different cloth. And truth be told, when they fight, David Benavidez ain't going to just be fighting anybody that he think he going to be fighting in that ring. He going to be fighting what we call a lions only type of opponent. Let me say it again. He's going to be fighting a lions only type of opponent. A guy who trains hard, whose work ethic is second to none. A guy who has stamina. A guy who can last, and a guy who has power that can translate from one weight class to the next. And a guy who hits you, you don't see it coming. See, as conventional of a fighter that Jermall Charlo is, Jermall Charlo is one of those, what I would say, talented or what I would say, technically sound type of awkward type of fighters, because he does some awkward movements in his unawkward stance that throws you off. Case in point, all you got to do is go back and look, you know what I'm saying, at his fights and his knockouts. Look at how he was able to break people down, because he knows how to handle his business. Look at those uppercuts that Jermall Charlo throws. It's ridiculous the way this guy fights. Jermall Charlo is a sniper, man. The Charlos, when they fight you with their soul. Let me say it again. When the Charlos fight you with their soul. They're serious, man. There's a reason why they carry their WBC belts. Because they've earned it. Either they've made people duck them, or they've earned it legitimately. Let me say it again. Either they've made people duck them, or they've earned it legitimately because they've whooped that ass. So the truth of the fact of the matter is, Jermall Charlo, once again, is cleaning up Canelo Alvarez's mess. And that's sad. But Canelo Alvarez is supposedly the cash cow of boxing. Don't make me laugh. I keeps the foot on the what? On the X. I keeps the foot on the what? On the X. At the end of the day, David Benavidez, you get the biggest respect of the damn day. But it's all about lions only. This is He Knows the Sport. Checking out.